Yes,
Well,
sir.
well, okay. So today we are going to start in this class that is Shivaji's relationship with Adil Shah. We have so far studied the kind of background that was prepared for the Maratha kingdom to come into existence. There was a geographical, political work of Sant and the concept of Maharashtra Dharma. So Shivaji, the main kingdom that Shivaji carved out is from the kingdom of Adil Shah. So a little bit of background. Shivaji's father Shahaji, he was Sardar of Bijapur, and from Bijapur, Adil Shah of Bijapur, he got Jagir near Pune, and then in 1400, 1642, Shivaji was sent there to look after that Jagir. And Dadaji Kondev and some more people, experienced elderly people, were sent along with Shivaji so that they can assist Shivaji in administration. वहाँ पर प्रशासन चलाने में शिवाजी को मदद मिले। शिवाजी उस समय केवल 12 साल के थे। लेकिन शिवाजी के मन की जो जड़न घड़न थी, मैंने जैसे कि बताया कि महाराष्ट्र में वो बैकग्राउंड पहले से ही बन चुका था। महाराष्ट्र धर्म की संकल्पना लोगों के मन में जागृत हो चुकी थी। और इस तरीके से लोग शायद सपने देखने लगे थे कि क्या हमारा इंडिपेंडेंट राज्य नहीं हो सकता। और उसी का, जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं ना, मूल्यों का मानवीकरण, जिसको इंग्लिश में कहते हैं पर्सनिफिकेशन ऑफ आइडियाज, पर्सनिफिकेशन ऑफ वैल्यूज, वो हमें शिवाजी के चरित्र में दिखता है कि वो शुरू से ही उनके मन में किसी अपने पिता की तरह, या अपने जो आजू बाजू के एंसेंटर्स थे, जो किसी और सुल्तान के यहाँ पर नौकरी करे, उसके बदले उसके बजाय अच्छा हो कि मैं अपना इंडिपेंडेंट राज्य स्थापित करूँ, ये भावना उनके मन में थी। और वो जब वहाँ चले गए पुणे अपनी मदर के साथ में, जीजाबाई के साथ में, और शाहजी दक्षिण में चले गए, कर्नाटका बेंगलोर की तरफ, बीजापुर के आदिल शाह के सरदार के रूप में, और वहाँ पर बीजापुर का राज्य फैलाने का काम उन्होंने किया। और उसी समय महाराष्ट्र में पुणे के आसपास में शिवाजी ने जाकर पुणे के आसपास जो किले थे, उसके ऊपर अपना कंट्रोल स्थापित करना शुरू किया। आमतौर पर वहाँ पर प्रशासकीय व्यवस्था क्या होती थी कि जो जागीरदार होते थे उनको वो एरिया ज़रूर दिया जाता था कि यहाँ पर आप प्रशासन चलाइए, यहाँ से जो रेवेन्यू आता है वो सरकार में जमा कीजिए। लेकिन उनके जो किले होते थे उस एरिया के, वो किले आमतौर पर बादशाह के कंट्रोल में होते थे, वो उस जागीरदारों के कंट्रोल में नहीं। क्योंकि उस समय किला एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण स्थान होता था जहाँ से उस एरिया की रक्षा की जा सकती थी। और किला अगर किसी के हाथ में हो तो उस एरिया के ऊपर वो अपना कंट्रोल भी रख सकता था, क्योंकि किले में सिपाही सुरक्षित रह सकते थे। और वो ज़रूरत के अनुसार बहुत लंबी समय तक उस किले का सहारा लेकर लड़ाई लड़ सकते थे, या फिर किले से बाहर आकर आजू बाजू के एरिया पे के ऊपर आक्रमण करना उनके लिए आसान होता था। तो छत्रपति उस समय तो ऑफकोर्स वो छत्रपति नहीं थे, तो शिवाजी इस बात को समझते थे, और उन्हें वहाँ जो पुणे के आसपास के जो किले थे उनके एरिया के, जो कि बादशाह के हाथ में थे, उनको उन्होंने जीतना शुरू कर दिया, और तोरना उन्होंने जीता सबसे पहले 1645 में। उसके बाद में तोरना के पास में ही एक पहाड़ी पर उन्होंने राजगढ़ का कंस्ट्रक्शन शुरू कर दिया, जो कि उनकी पहली राजधानी बनी। ये जो एक्टिविटीज थी शिवाजी की, उसके लिए बीजापुर दरबार से उनको वार्निंग दिया गया कि ये काम क्यों कर रहे हो, ये तो विद्रोह है, क्यों किलो किलो को अपने हाथों में ले रहे हो, तो बादशाह के हाथ में होता है। तो शिवाजी ने बहुत डिप्लोमेटिकली आंसर दिया कि मैं ये सारा जो है सुल्तान के लिए ही कर रहा हूँ, ताकि आपकी ही पकड़ इस एरिया में ज़्यादा मजबूत रहे, कोई आपके खिलाफ विद्रोह न करे। शिवाजी के जो केयर टेकर थे दादोजी कोंडदेव, ये ओल्ड एल्डरली पर्सन थे, ओल्ड स्कूल के थे, और उनको इन बातों से बड़ा डर लगता था कि शिवाजी अगर इस तरीके से रिबेलियन वाला काम करेगा, तो हो सकता है उसके खिलाफ बड़ी सेना भेज दी जाएंगी, और उसके उसको हो सकता है उसको हरा के बंदी बना दिया जाएगा, या फिर उसकी हत्या कर मार डाला जाएगा। और इसलिए वो जब तक वो जीवित थे, शिवाजी अपना काम बहुत धीरे धीरे करते रहे, क्योंकि उनका वो कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश करते थे। ही यूज टू चेक शिवाजीज एक्टिविटी। बट दादोजी कोंडदेव, ही डाइज इन 1647, वेरी वेरी सिंसियर पर्सन टूवर्ड्स हिज ड्यूटी। और उसके बाद में 1647 के बाद में शिवाजी जो है वो इंडिपेंडेंट हो गए और उन्होंने इंडिपेंडेंट स्वतंत्र रूप से बिना किसी रोक-टोक के अपना काम शुरू कर दिया और उन्होंने उसके तुरंत बाद दादोजी कोंडदेव की तुरंत मृत्यु बाद 1647 में ही कोंढाना किला जो कि एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण किला था, उसके ऊपर अपना अपना अधिकार स्थापित कर लिया और ये माना जाता है कि कोंढाना के ऊपर उन्होंने कोई उनको लड़ाई करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी, सिद्दी अंबर उनके कुछ जो वहाँ का किलेदार था उनके कुछ डिफरेंसेस थे बादशाह आदिल शाह के साथ में और ये इन किलों की तरफ बादशाह आदिल शाह उतना ध्यान भी नहीं देता था तो शिवाजी ने उसके साथ में कुछ डिप्लोमेटिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग रखी और वो किला अपने कब्जे में ले लिया उसके बाद में पुरंदर का किला अगले साल ले लिया पुरंदर के किले में क्या था वहाँ पर जो पुरंदर का जो किलेदार होता था आदिल शाह के ऑफ कोर्स आदिल शाह के अधीन था वहाँ के किलेदार को नीलकंठ राव एक उनको पदवी दी जाती थी ही वॉज गिवन अ टाइटल ऑफ नीलकंठ राव एंड व्हेन दिस नीलकंठ राव डाइड हिज सन उसके 3 लड़के थे उनमें आपस में थोड़ा संघर्ष शुरू हो गया कि अभी पुरंदर का नीलकंठ राव मतलब पुरंदर के किले का अधिकारी प्रमुख अधिकारी कौन बनेगा और इन तीनों ब्रदर में से 2 भाई जो थे वो शिवाजी के पास चले गए और शिवाजी ने जो कहा कि ठीक है मैं तुम्हारी मदद करूंगा और जो एक भाई जो था जिसके हाथ में किला था उसको मैसेज भेजा कि मैं दिवाली मनाने के लिए पुरंदर में आना चाहता हूँ और वो पुरंदर किले पर चले गए इन दोनों भाइयों को लेकर और अपने कुछ सिपाही को लेकर और वहाँ पर वहाँ का जो किलेदार था उसको बंदी बना दिया और इन दोनों भाइयों को भी बंदी बना लिया और किला अपने हाथ में ले लिया तो ये कई हिस्टोरियन कई इतिहासकार इसको कहते हैं कि शिवाजी ने तो बड़ा षड्यंत्र किया लेकिन रीज़न जो भी हो किला शिवाजी के हाथ में आ गया और उसके बाद में ये जो जो ब्रदर थे जिनको शिवाजी ने बंदी किया था बाद में उनको मुक्त कर दिया गया और बाद में उनको अपनी सर्विस में रखा गया तो बाद में उन्होंने शिवाजी की अच्छे तरीके से सर्विस की तो ये जो 2 घटना हुई कोंढाना और पुरंदर को अपने हाथ में ले लेना इस बात से जो आदिल शाह जो सुल्तान था जो बादशाह था उसकी नींद थोड़ी हराम होने लगी ही गॉट डिस्टर्ब एंड देन ही सेंड्स 2 पीपल फतेह खान एंड बालाजी हम्बित राव दे वर सेंड विथ आर्मी फ्रॉम बीजापुर बीजापुर से उनको भेज दिया गया शिवाजी के खिलाफ और ये शिवाजी के जो आदमी थे वो तैयार थे वो मेंटली अच्छे से उन्होंने अपने आप को तैयार करके रखा था और जब वो किले के ऊपर आक्रमण करने लगे तो ये शिवाजी के आदमी किले से बड़ी संख्या में नीचे आया और उन्होंने लड़ाई लड़ी और बीजापुर की सेना को हरा दिया ये शिवाजी के आदमियों की बीजापुर के सेना के खिलाफ मिली हुई पहली बड़ी जीत थी और उसके बाद में बैटल ऑफ ये खलाड नाम की जगह पर ये लड़ाई हुई थी जब शिवाजी के आदमी किले से ऊपर आकर उन्होंने इस मुगल इन आदिल शाह के सेना के ऊपर आक्रमण किया था और वो जीत गए थे और इससे शिवाजी और उनके आदमियों का कॉन्फिडेंस काफ़ी बढ़ गया और उसके बाद में हम लोग देखते हैं नेक्स्ट ईयर जो शाहजी जो बीजापुर के सरदार के रूप में दक्षिण भारत में बीजापुर के आदिल शाह की सल्तनत को बढ़ाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे उनके खिलाफ दरबार में षड्यंत्र हो गया ये भी माना गया कि शिवाजी जो एक स्वतंत्र रूप से जो एक जागीर उनको दी गई थी शाहजी को जागीर दी गई थी उसी जागीर के सारे किले शिवाजी एक के बाद एक अपने हाथों में लेने की कोशिश कर रहा है तो शाहजी के खिलाफ एक बड़ा षड्यंत्र वहां पर हो गया और शाहजी को अरेस्ट कर दिया गया बंदी बना दिया गया जब शाहजी को बंदी बना दिया गया तो जो दक्षिण भारत में देखिए उस समय दक्षिण भारत का कुछ हिस्सा आदिल शाह के पास था कुछ हिस्सा कुतुब शाह के पास था ये 2 बड़ी सल्तनत थी लेकिन आमतौर पर संपूर्ण भारत में बहुत अधिक शक्तिशाली जो साम्राज्य था वो था मुगलों का मुगलों के साम्राज्य में महाराष्ट्र का कुछ भाग भी सम्मिलित था उदाहरण के तौर पर औरंगाबाद औरंगाबाद हमेशा ही मुगलों के पास में रहा है अ, बाद में जब निज़ाम शाही बनी सेकंड निज़ाम शाही जिसका कैपिटल हैदराबाद था वो बहुत बाद की बात है औरंगजेब की मृत्यु के बाद में तब वो निज़ाम शाही में चली गई लेकिन औरंगाबाद और ये जो मराठवाड़ा का जो एरिया था इसके ऊपर मुगलों ने अपना आधिपत्य स्थापित कर रखा था तो मुगल सबसे शक्तिशाली थे और मुगलों का जिस समय शाहजी को आदिल शाह के दरबार ने अरेस्ट किया बंदी बना दिया उस समय मुगलों का जो सूबेदार दक्कन में था वो था प्रिंस मुराद राजपुत्र मुराद और जो कि शाहजहां का पुत्र था तो उसके साथ में शिवाजी ने अपनी मतलब कुछ ऑफर भेजा, उसके साथ में कुछ पॉलिटिकल रिलेशनशिप बनाने की कोशिश की, और उसके बदले में कहा कि आप आदिल शाही दरबार के ऊपर प्रेशर लाइए कि मेरे पिता को छोड़ दिया जाए। और मुराद की तरफ से शायद प्रेशर लाया गया होगा, वो डिटेल हमें नहीं पता निश्चित रूप से, लेकिन शिवाजी ने संपर्क किया इतना ज़रूर पता चलता है। और उसके बाद में 1649 अगले साल जो है वो शाहजी को रिलीज कर दिया गया, और उसके बदले में शिवाजी को जो है, जो कोंढाना किला उन्होंने ले रखा था, नीलकंठ नहीं, नीलकंठराव से तो पुरंदर लिया था, कोंढाना आदिल शाह के सरदार से ही लिया था, वो कोंढाना आदिल शाह को वापस करना पड़ा। उसके बाद में नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जो है, या फिर नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट महत्वपूर्ण जीत जो है शिवाजी की, वो है जावड़ी के ऊपर जीत। जावड़ी नाम का एरिया कोंकण में था, पुणे के पास में। और उस समय शिवाजी ये जो अब लोगों को, अपने आजू बाजू के लोगों को इकट्ठा कर कर अपना अधिकार क्षेत्र बढ़ाने की कोशिश कर रहा था। लेकिन कई सारे मराठा देशमुख और मराठा सरदार जो थे, जो बहुत पहले से हर बहुत पहले की पीढ़ी से, फ्रॉम 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 देयर एंसेस्टर्स, दे वर सर्विंग आदिल शाह, and earlier they were serving the Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar. Now they were serving Adil Shah of Bijapur, and they were not willing to accept the supreme position of Shivaji. They wanted to remain loyal to Adil Shah, and there was this More family at Zawi, and आपस में भी इनके कुछ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट थे। उनमें से कुछ लोगों ने शिवाजी को अप्रोच किया कि आप इसमें दखल दीजिए, लेकिन उस समय जो मोरे फैमिली का जो हेड था चंद्र राव, उसको ये दिस वाज दैट वाज द टाइटल, द हेड ऑफ द मोरे फैमिली वाज कॉल्ड चंद्र राव। This Chandra Rao was not willing to accept Shivaji's better position. On the other hand, he said ki I will remain loyal to Adil Shah. Not only that, he also started certain conspiracy against Shivaji, and he also started gathering the people who were opposed to Shivaji. And Shivaji, here again also Shivaji played a very kind of, from one perspective, the role which was often criticized. Shivaji, he well prepared for the battle, well prepared for the war, and then without giving any hint of war to Chandra Rao, he said ki, okay fine, we are coming for the talk. And during that talk, this Chandra Rao was murdered by the person of Shivaji, called Sambhaji Kauji. Sambhaji Kauji is the person who murdered this Chandra Rao. And once Chandra Rao was murdered, Shivaji's army, they attacked this Zawdi, and Zawdi was captured. Now the small battles were fought at different places, and during this, there was a fort of Rairi, which was conquered by Shivaji, and there was another fort called Rohida, which was conquered by Shivaji again in the Zawadi area. And during this battle at Rohida, there was a person who was fighting from the side of Chandrarao More. He was Baji Prabhu Deshpande, and Shivaji, he saw his bravery, and then he said, "Ki you are such a brave man. Why are you fighting for a person who is a servant of Adil Shah? Why don't you join hands with me?" And Baji Prabhu, he left the service of More, and he joins hand with Shivaji. And later on, Baji Prabhu sacrificed his life for the protection of Shivaji. And this coming of conquest of Zawadi was one of the important conquests, in the sense that now Shivaji's small kingdom, which was comprising of the area near Pune, now it has almost doubled. Very extensive area came under the control of Shivaji, and now that Zawadi and that Konkan and that mountainous region, it became a very important recruiting ground for Shivaji's army, because Maoris in that the people who staying in on those mountain, they were called Maoris, and those Maoris, they were very brave and very very tenacious. They become very important section of Chhatrapati. He became later on. They become an important important portion, important people who played a very important role in Shivaji's army. Now, see how Shivaji has started his conquest very gradually. He went to Pune as representative of Shahaji. Shahaji was Sardar of Bijapur. Then he slowly conquered the fort, in that Pune region. Then making that as the base, he conquered Zawli. Now Zawli and that Pune and surrounding area became another important base. He recruited the people, and then he further went on conquest of Adil Shah area. Remember that Shivaji was very clever not to start war against two enemies at the same time. So he did not attack the Mughal fort. You see the diplomacy of Shivaji. When he used to fight with Adil Shah, he ensured that Mughal remain on a friendly term. He used to have a kind of friendly relation. When he fought against Mughal, he will not fight against Adil Shah. There he maintained friendly term. Now here this is the beginning, and in the beginning we find that generally he fought against and conquered the area of Adil Shah and not of Mughal, because he knew that Mughal is a much more stronger power, and his position does not allow him to go on collision with such a huge empire. So making this Zawdi as a recruiting ground and foundation, he started his conquest in the Adil Shahi territory like Kalyan, Bhiwandi and North Konkan was conquered. The Karnala fort in that Konkan region was also conquered. He also started, and now now his boundaries has touched to sea, and he also started building his navy. Now, interesting thing is that this area, Kalyan, Bhiwandi, and Northern Konkan, was directly administered by Adil Shah. See, earlier Pune was Jagir of Shahaji and Shivaji. Okay, he that was already under the control of Shivaji, and he only conquered the fort. More's area was not directly under the control of Adil Shah anyway. More was, kind of vassal of आदिल शाह के सरदार के रूप में वहाँ रहते थे, और ज़मीन के ऊपर उनका कंट्रोल था। तो शिवाजी ने आदिल शाह के टेरिटरी के ऊपर डायरेक्ट आक्रमण अभी तक नहीं किया था। उन्होंने जावड़ का जो एरिया था वो मोरे के अंदर में था, एंड देन ही कॉन्कर्ड फ्रॉम मोरे। बट नाउ बाय द अटैक ऑन कल्याण भिवंडी एंड नॉर्थ कोकन, शिवाजी हैज डायरेक्टली नाउ अटैक्ड द टेरिटरी ऑफ आदिल शाह, and now Adil Shah was under compulsion to take certain action, because that was a direct attack definitely. So next important episode in the Shivaji and Adil Shah's relation, and the first major conflict. See, earlier Shivaji's men, they defeated the small army that was sent from Adil Shahi court. Shivaji, he suddenly raided those areas like Kalyan, Bhiwandi, and conquered those areas in North Konkan. But now the major conflict, the first major conflict that came between Adil Shahi court and Shivaji is Afzal Khan's attack on Shivaji. The Adil Shahi Darbar, the Adil Shah was a small prince. His mother was generally known as Badi Saiba. She was the regent. She was looking after the administration. And the court was quite tense. Who should be now sent against Shivaji? And there was this person, very capable, very strong, very cunning. Even it was believed that he was having a role in the arrest of Shivaji's father Shahaji. This Afzal Khan in 1659, he took the responsibility that I will go against Shivaji, either I will capture him, otherwise I will bring him dead here. And so here onwards, what starts between Afzal Khan on the one side and Shivaji on the other side, that is generally known as the War of Pratapgarh. So Afzal Khan, he starts with his army from Bijapur. He enters the territory of Maharashtra, and then he plunders, the places of pilgrimage and places of spiritually important places for Hindus, like Turzapur. There and he breaks the idol of goddess Bhavani. Then he attacks Pandarpur. The temple was plundered. The priest, they managed to save the idol of Vithoba. Vithoba was carried away. Remember now Maharashtra Dharma. Vithoba was the god of a lot many people. So these actions of Afzal Khan, it angered the population, and it was a tactic on the part of Afzal Khan that if Shivaji is hiding now in the forest and it is difficult for me to march into that area and capture Shivaji, that will lead to the loss of many people. So I will better try to instigate so that he will come out and fight the war. But Shivaji was quite clever match for Afzal Khan. And now Shivaji, he had his war council, and then a lot of things were debated, but finally Shivaji decided that I should play a diplomatic game. And then he started sending his representative to Afzal Khan, and through this representative, Shivaji communicated that he is quite afraid, he is willing to surrender. And now the exchange of representative started. Krishnaji Bhaskar was in the service of Afzal Khan. He was a Brahmin, a Maharashtrian Brahmin, and he went to Shivaji on the behalf of Afzal Khan. And Shivaji, he had meeting with Krishnaji Bhaskar in the temple of Bhavani, and he appealed to his religion that, see, Hinduism is under threat, and it's better if you cooperate with me. So you give me the information. And now, though Krishnaji Bhaskar, he remained faithful to his master Afzal Khan, but whatever information that Shivaji could extract from him, that Shivaji has used very effectively. Who are there in Afzal Khan's camp? How much army is there? Where they are stationed? How they are marching? And all that kind of stuff. And when Shivaji's Vakil went to Afzal Khan's camp, Gopinath Pant Bokil, he also, observed things minutely and reported this thing to Shivaji. Now Shivaji, he formulated his plan. He continued to reiterate, continue to say, बार बार वो यही मैसेज भेजते थे कि मैं डर गया हूँ, अपने वकील, मतलब वकील जाके कहते थे कि शिवाजी काफ़ी डरे हुए हैं और वो सरेंडर करना चाहते हैं. और अफजल खान भी, एक हिस्टोरियन कहते हैं कि अफजल खान समझ गया कि शिवाजी डरा हुआ है, अब इसको तो पकड़ के ले जाना कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है, और वो थोड़ा निश्चिंत हो गया. हिज आर्मी बिकेम, दे थॉट दैट कि वॉर इज ओवर नाउ. नाउ इट इज जस्ट गोइंग टू बी अ मीटिंग एंड शिवाजी इज गोइंग टू सरेंडर एंड शिवाजी विल बी टेकन टू आदिल शाह. Another version says that Afzal Khan was very proud of his strength, and he planned that I will go and meet Shivaji, and then I will kill Shivaji, and when Shivaji is killed, automatically all his kingdom will collapse. There is a big mistake that the people do during diplomacy, that is underestimating your enemy, and that is what probably Afzal Khan has done from one version. And so as he said, ki, okay, fine, we will meet, and then he invited Shivaji to come to the camp. Again, Shivaji's Vakil played a very clever game and said, ki, no, Shivaji is very afraid. It's better you come to Pratapgarh. And then Afzal Khan's army, it marched towards Pratapgarh. They established their camp on the bank of a river, and on the meeting was decided, on the near the foothill of Pratapgarh. So it was decided that, it is not exactly at the foothill; it is somewhere in the middle. Some climbing was there, and there the pendal was arranged, where it was decided that Afzal Khan will come and Shivaji will come, and they will be having a very few people, few bodyguards, and when they meet, there will be only four people. That is Afzal Khan, Shivaji, and their two representatives. That is Krishnaji Bhaskar from Afzal Khan's side and Gopinath Pant Bokil from Shivaji's side. So this was all decided. Now on the day of meeting, Afzal Khan, he came. Shivaji, he started. And before going for a meeting of Afzal Khan, Shivaji called the meeting of his noble and said, ki, if something happens to me during this meeting, you can place my son Sambhaji on the throne and you can rule by the advice of Jizabai. But before going for the meeting, Shivaji has sent immediate message to all his nobles who were fighting with their army into the different places, that they should come and they should take shelter in the forest and wait for the right signal. And Afzal Khan, when he started from Bijapur, the Bijapur Darbar has given farman to the different Deshmukh and the different noble of that region, that they should immediately join Afzal Khan with their army. And here, if you remember, we have studied Jedhe Shakawali. Jedhe were the person who joined hand with Shivaji and not with Adil Shah. But there were few Deshmukh, few important hereditary officers of that region who joined with their army to Afzal Khan. Now, the day of meeting came. Afzal Khan came with some of his bodyguards. Shivaji came with few of his bodyguards. And when Shivaji came, when they saw Afzal Khan, Shivaji was hesitant, and when asked, Afzal Khan asked why. So there was a very expert person called Sayyid Banda, who was very expert in using the long sword called Dandpatta. The Vakil said ki Shivaji is afraid of this person, so this person should be sent away. That person was sent away. Now inside the tent there were only four people: Shivaji, Afzal Khan, and then these two representative of these two people, Krishnaji Bhaskar and Gopinath Pant Bokil. And suddenly, people, the bodyguards standing outside the camp, bodyguards of both sides, Afzal Khan's bodyguard and Shivaji's bodyguard, they heard the voice daga daga, and Afzal Khan was shouting. So as they rush in between, they found that Afzal Khan's the stomach was cut open by Shivaji, and Shivaji, they attack Shivaji. Shivaji's bodyguard also came, and the fighting started in the camp. Now, according to one version, is that the Maratha historian generally believe that Afzal Khan came prepared to kill Shivaji, and as they embrace each other, अफजल खान ने शिवाजी की गर्दन को अपनी बगल में दबाया, अपना कटार निकाला और शिवाजी को मारने की कोशिश की। लेकिन शिवाजी तैयार थे, उन्होंने अपने जो कुर्ता होता है उसके नीचे लोहे का प्रोटेक्टिव गियर पहना हुआ था, एंड ही वाज हैविंग द टाइगर्स claws called Bagnakhe, and he was also hidden, and he was also having bichwa, the small weapon like knife, hidden in his sleeve. He took out this Bagnakhe and tear open the bowl of Afzal Khan, pierce him, and then also pierce with Qatar. And instead of getting killed, Shivaji killed Afzal Khan. But Afzal Khan was not dead that time. He tried to rush and go to his main, to be carried to his camp on the shoulder of the people. But Shivaji's men like Sambhaji Kauji, they attacked him, and his head was cut off. Now there are two versions who attacked first. From Maratha historian perspective, it was Afzal Khan who attacked first, and what Shivaji has done is a kind of preemptive murder. Preemptive murder means, that is, if I know that somebody is coming to murder me, instead of dying, I kill that person. So that is called preemptive murder. You are killing somebody in order to save yourself. But there are historians who says that it was Shivaji, in fact, who trapped Afzal Khan. He spoke few words, gave an impression that he is going to surrender, but his army was already ready, and that is what we see. This point, this they also have a point here, because immediately after the killing of Afzal Khan, the cannons were fired from Pratapgarh, and Shivaji's army, who were hiding in the forest, they came out from their hiding, and they suddenly attack Afzal Khan's army, which was not aware that they need to fight. Afzal Khan and his army was quite relaxed. So if the person is having anything, doing conspiracy, and doesn't keep his army ready, that means he was either overconfident, otherwise he was not conspiring. But the indications are here that Shivaji had planned the destruction of Afzal Khan. शिवाजी ने शायद सब प्लानिंग करके रखा था. Whatever the case may be, he was a politician, and if he cannot win by direct fight against such a huge army, he has used his skill and his diplomacy and his cleverness to defeat the enemy who was much stronger. And same thing has happened. Shivaji's army suddenly came out from the hiding. They attack Afzal Khan's army. Large number of people were killed. Large number of booty was captured. Afzal Khan's son Fazal Khan, somehow he escaped with his life, and many of them were made a prisoner, but later on released by Shivaji. So this is how the war of Pratapgarh was fought. This is one of the very important major victory of Shivaji, and on that number of poems called povada, the bardic song, are written. You can see those things in the YouTube. Links are given here. Even there is a reconstruction of Shivaji and Afzal Khan's meeting in the TV serial Bharat Ek Khoj. Discovery of India is a book written by Jawaharlal Nehru, and based on that book, there was a very famous serial when I was a young teenage boy, and I used to see some of the episodes. So those YouTube links are here. You can see those episodes and try to understand what must have happened. But immediately after that, Shivaji did not remain quiet. So this war of Pratapgarh was won by Shivaji, and immediately after that, Shivaji conquers another fort of Adil Shah, that is called Pannala, and again Vishargad. These both forts were captured. Rustum Jama and Fazal Khan, they were sent from Adil Shahi court, but they were also defeated by Shivaji. Now, next important episode in the relation between Shivaji and Adil Shah is the siege of Pannala. Pannala was conquered by Shivaji, and he was staying there. But huge army under the command of Khawas Khan and Siddhi Zohar was sent from Adil Shah, and that fort was surrounded by the army of Adil Shah. So Shivaji was on Pannala. Then near to Panna there was another fort, Vishalgarh, and Vishalgarh was also surrounded. So here Shivaji was, under siege. He remained there for few days, but now things were becoming more difficult as the Adil Shahi army was attacking the different territory, and it was important for Shivaji to escape from that siege. But how that is to be done? And again, Siddhi Johar, who was encamping, again Shivaji started sending message that I want to surrender and I want to come to your meeting. And then one day night, he planned his escape. So one palki was sent, and in that palki there was a person who was looking like Shivaji, was sent towards Siddhi Johar's camp, so that those people can be deceived. Those people will be thinking that Shivaji is coming to meet us. And there was another palki which started, and Shivaji went on foot. Uh, from Pannada, and then they escaped from an unguarded pass, and they started marching towards Vishalgarh. But this happened in the night, and but next day immediately, when Siddhi Johar and his people, they came to know that Shivaji has escaped, they sent huge army against him, to pursue him and to capture him. And as Shivaji was marching towards Vishalgarh, which was also sieged by the Mughal, and he has to cut his way through. But before he could reach Vishagarh, the army that was sent from Siddhijor was about to, they came very close. Now, what is to be done? That was very risky. There was a possibility that Shivaji might have been captured by these people, either or either killed in the battle. There was this person, if you remember, when Shivaji has attacked Zawri, and there was this person, Baji Prabhu Deshpande, who was fighting for More, who joined hand with Shivaji. Now this person comes forward. He was in service of Shivaji, and he says, "Ki with 300 people, I will hold this army of thousands people in a narrow pass." There was a narrow pass between two mountains that cannot be crossed by a large number of people. It has to be crossed by a very short number of people. I will hold these people here, and Shivaji can march forward. And Shivaji, with selected people, he marches forward. Baji Prabhu Deshpande, with his loyal soldier, he stays there, and he stops this huge mass of Adil Shahi army who were pursuing Shivaji, and the battle was fought. These 300 people, they have shown an exceptional bravery under the command of Baji Prabhu Deshpande. One after another, the Adil Shahi soldiers who were trying to pass, they were cut down, but they were slowly overpowered. This Adil Shahi army was huge in number, and Baji Prabhu Deshpande, this is the statue of Baji Prabhu Deshpande, which we see in Ramnagar Square in Nagpur. Uh, so this when it is said that when the warrior he gives away his protective weapon, that is, you have a dhal, a protective weapon, and you have a sword. With dhal you protect yourself, and with sword you attack the enemy. But when the soldier is now bent upon the final war, either I will win or otherwise I will die, he no longer feel any need of protecting himself. So he throws away his dhal and takes two sword that symbolizes the final battle. So this statue and these two huge sword in the hand of Baji Prabhu Deshpande symbolizes his last battle, that he was bent upon either to die or to cut down the enemy. And the war was fought one after another. The Adil Shahi soldier, they came upon this small number of people, and they were slowly cut down. Even Baji Prabhu Deshpande was also shot, and he fell down. But his sacrifice and his fight has given time for Shivaji to reach safely to Vishalgarh. And Shivaji cuts through the Adil Shahi soldiers who were also there at the feet of Vishalgarh. Shivaji reaches Vishalgarh safely, and the cannon was fired as a signal that Shivaji has reached safely to Vishalgarh. And it is believed. See, there are certain narration, there are certain descriptions which are given in Bakhar, and the Bakhar, they generally have a kind of tendency to praise the bravery, and it is from these Bakhars that we come to know that it is after hearing the cannon fire, which signal that Shivaji has reached safely to Vishalgarh, that बाजी प्रभु देशपांडे he breathed his last and he died. वहाँ पर उनकी मृत्यु हो जाती है. So this is again a very important battle. And then on the memory of this Baji Prabhu Deshpande, Narrow passage in Marathi is known as Khind. And this was called Ghod Khind because this was so narrow that only one horse can pass through it. And it is in the memory of Baji Prabhu Deshpande that this Ghod Khind is renamed as Pawan Khind. Pawan means something pure, so something that has become pure because of the martyrdom, because of the sacrifice of Baji Prabhu Deshpande. All right. Well, so now the next episode between Shivaji and Adil Shah, it takes certain time. Now in 1661, Mughal General Shahista Khan, he comes upon Shivaji because Shivaji, as his power was rising, it is not only Adil Shah, it is now Mughal also who started feeling very uncomfortable. And औरंगजेब ही सेंट हिज मैटरनल अंकल मामा शाइस्ता खान उनको बहुत बड़ी सेना लेकर शिवाजी के खिलाफ उन्होंने भेजा। इवन औरंगजेब बादशाह बनने से पहले ही वो दक्षिण का सूबेदार था। मुगल और शिवाजी के रिलेशन हम बाद में विस्तार पूर्वक पूर्वक पढ़ेंगे, लेकिन औरंगजेब दक्षिण का सूबेदार था और वो समझ गया था कि शिवाजी इज अ वेरी कैपेबल पर्सन और उसको नष्ट करना बहुत जरूरी है। और शाइस्ता खान जब बहुत बड़ी सेना लेकर पुणे में आया, शिवाजी, एज आई टोल्ड यू, ही वाज अ वेरी क्लेवर पर्सन एंड ही हैड सम अंडरस्टैंडिंग विथ बीजापुर नाउ बिकॉज ही डिड नॉट वांट टू फाइट विथ टू एनिमीज एट द सेम टाइम। सो आदिल शाह के साथ में उन्होंने थोड़ा अपना कुछ अंडरस्टैंडिंग कर ली। And Shahaji, who was in service of Bijapur, he was sent on the behalf of Darbar of Bijapur. So this father and son, they had a meeting, and lastly, Bijapur Darbar, they accepted it. It was a kind of acceptance of Shivaji's independence. If Bijapur Darbar is sending their representative to have a kind of discussion with Shivaji, that means they have accepted the independence of Shivaji, and the control of Shivaji over Adil Shahi territory that was conquered by Shivaji is now acknowledged. Shaista Khan, he remained in Pune. He occupied Pune in 1661, and he remained there for quite a number of months. And but one day he was surprised by Shivaji. That detail we will study later on. But Shaista Khan was surprised. He was attacked in his camp by Shivaji, and Shaista Khan was called back. And now, once Shaista Khan was called back, Shivaji again renewed his war against Adil Shah. He attacked, and the Baji Ghorpade was one of the Maratha Sardar who was serving under Adil Shah, and this Baji Ghorpade was enemy of Shivaji's father Shahaji. He was instrumental in arresting Shahaji, and this Baji Ghorpade was killed by killed by Shivaji. Hubli, which was an important port of Adil Shahi in the Adil Shahi territory, was sacked, attacked, and looted by Shahaji. But in spite of these two few smaller conflict, all the three important power of South now, the Bijapur and Golconda were traditional power, and Shivaji's power has also increased now. They understood that the main enemy of our is Mughal. See, in politics there is no permanent enemy and permanent friend. Everything dependent on self interest. सो इन लोगों को ये समझ में आया कि हमारी जो मुख्य लड़ाई है दैट इज अगेंस्ट इंपीरियलिस्ट मुगल, क्योंकि मुगलों का ये हमेशा ही नीति हुई है कि साम्राज्य को बढ़ाते जाओ और एक ना एक दिन वो हमारे ऊपर आक्रमण करेंगे। ये बात इनको समझ में आ गई। तो ये आपस में हम लोग एक हो सकते हैं क्या, बीजापुर, गोलकोंडा और मराठे, शिवाजी अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ शिवाजी, क्या इज देयर एनी पॉसिबिलिटी कि हम लोग एक हो सकते क्या? लेकिन उसके पहले ही जो औरंगज़ेब था वो काफ़ी चिढ़ गया था जिस तरीके से शाइस्ता खान का अपमान हुआ, और उसने अपने बहुत कैपेबल जनरल जय सिंह और दिलेर खान इनको शिवाजी के खिलाफ भेजा। और जय सिंह वाज़ अ वेरी कैपेबल जनरल। उसने हर तरीके से शिवाजी के ऊपर आक्रमण किया, और पुरंदर की लड़ाई के समय शिवाजी ने उनके सामने सरेंडर किया, और ट्रीटी ऑफ पुरंदर जो है वो साइन हो गई 1665 में। तो उस समय ये आदिल शाह और कुतुब शाह ये अलग अलग रहे, क्योंकि औरंगजेब ने उनको कहा था कि आप शिवाजी की मदद नहीं करना, नहीं तो आपके ऊपर भी आक्रमण कर दिया जाएगा। लेकिन ये ट्रीटी ऑफ पुरंदर में एक एग्रीमेंट ये भी था कि शिवाजी और मुगल मिलकर आदिल शाह के खिलाफ लड़ाई करेंगे। और 1666 में शिवाजी ही अकम्पनीड मुगल आर्मी दैट वाज अटैकिंग बीजापुर। तो बीजापुर की जो किंगडम थी उसके ऊपर अटैक किया गया, लेकिन बीजापुर अभी भी काफ़ी शक्तिशाली था। उन्होंने दे फॉलोड द स्क्रॉच अर्थ पॉलिसी, सब कुछ आजू बाजू का जला दिया और इनकी सेना को कुछ मिला मिला नहीं, और दैट एक्सपीडिशन वाज अनसक्सेसफुल। सो मुगल एंड शिवाजी दे कुड नॉट डू एनीथिंग अगेंस्ट बीजापुर, एंड इनफैक्ट दिलेर खान जो था वो तो कहता था कि इसके लिए शिवाजी ही रिस्पॉन्सिबल है। Shivaji is not cooperating. That is the reason we are not able to conquer Bijapur. Whatever the case may be, ड्यूरिंग दिस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हाउएवर, नेताजी पालकर जो कि शिवाजी के बहुत दिनों से शिवाजी के साथ में थे, ही डेवलप सर्टन डिफरेंसेस विथ शिवाजी। एक एक पन्हाड़ा पन्हाड़ा फोर्ट जो कि शिवाजी ने अभी दे दिया था आदिल शाह को वापस, उसको जीतना था, और उसके लिए जो स्ट्रेटेजी बनाई गई, शिवाजी इस समय यहाँ पर पहुंचेंगे और नेताजी पालकर किस समय कहाँ पहुंचेंगे, इसमें कुछ कंफ्यूजन हो गया। नेताजी पालकर डिड नॉट रीच एट द टाइम एंड शिवाजी वॉज वेरी एंग्री, एंड नेताजी पालकर ही फाइनली लेफ्ट शिवाजी उस बात को लेकर। पहले वो आदिल शाह के पास चले गए, और वहाँ से बाद में वो मुगलों की सर्विस में चले गए, बाद में उनको उत्तर भारत में ले जाया गया, और बाद में मुस्लिम भी हो गए। देन ही कम्स बैक, ही बिकम्स हिंदू वंस अगेन, बट दैट इज अ स्टोरी, डिफरेंट स्टोरी फॉर अनदर डे। वी डोंट हैव मच टू डू हियर विथ यू with that. Here just we need to remember one thing, कि after 1665 शिवाजी एंड मुगल दे jointly अटैक बीजापुर, बट इट वाज नॉट वेरी सक्सेसफुल एक्सपीडिशन। उसके बाद का जो समय है 1667 टू 1672, ये 5 साल जो है ये आदिल शाह के साथ में बहुत शांतिपूर्ण रहे। देखिए शिवाजी हाउ क्लेवर ही वाज, नाउ ही वाज आफ्टर दिस ही गोज टू आगरा। आगरा में उनको अरेस्ट किया गया था मुगल बादशाह औरंगजेब ने, वहाँ से वो छूटते हैं, और फिर उनको मुगलों को जो जो कीड़े दिए थे उनको वापस लेने थे। तो जिस समय वो मुगलों के साथ में संघर्ष में जुड़े हुए थे, उस समय वो बीजापुर के साथ में शांति पूर्ण व्यवहार रखते थे। दैट दैट इज वन ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट यू नो डायमेंशन ऑफ हिज डिप्लोमेटिक मूव। तो यहाँ तक हम लोग आज रुकते हैं। इसके बाद का जो एपिसोड्स है उसके बारे में हम लोग नेक्स्ट क्लास में पढ़ेंगे। तो आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड नाउ। द बिगिनिंग वाज, शिवाजी स्टार्टेड कॉन्करिंग द फोर्ट सराउंडिंग पुणे एरिया। ही कॉन्कर्ड तोरना, कंस्ट्रक्टेड राजगढ़, देन ही अटैक्ड Zawadi, More were the vessel of Adil Shah, and then after that he conquered North Konkan, and then Kalyan and Bhiwandi, and that has angered Adil Shah. Afzal Khan was sent, and in the Battle of Pratapgarh, he was killed. And then next, Shivaji conquers Pandala and Vishargarh. Pandala, he was sieged surrounded by by the Adil Shahi army, but he escapes, and it is the sacrifice of Baji Prabhu Deshpande that enables Shivaji to reach safely to Vishalgarh. And so these are some of the important episodes that we have studied so far, and they had a kind of trust for a number of years. इसके बाद में जो अगेन रिन्यूअल ऑफ वॉर हुआ, उसके बारे में हम लोग विल स्टडी इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास। अभी तक जो पढ़ा है उसके बारे में कुछ डाउट अगर है तो यू कैन आस्क मी। हाँ, मीटिंग इज गोइंग टू एंड वेरी सून। रोहन, शाहेली, श्रद्धा। वेल, is there anything that you want to ask?